Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and coin factory family? Welcome back once again to another daily crypto live stream. And as you can see from the title, yeah, as it says, tomorrow is going to be a very big day for all financial markets. Of course, crypto will be no different. We are seeing quite a bit of a correction right now, which had only started in the past hour, believe it or not. I was watching the markets all day, been working all day, and there are assets and projects that were all up 10%, 5%. Bitcoin was doing very well. We'll be analyzing all of the projects in a moment, but we're now seeing a bit of a correction. In my belief, not financial advice, of course, I think the reason for this correction is the market's pricing in tomorrow's announcement. The terminology pricing in just basically means buy the rumor, sell the news before the event. So we're seeing that happening right now. But at the same time, we have got a lot of very reassuring updates to get into regarding Cashback, regarding a huge one from Tao that I made a video about earlier today, and equally regarding Kaspa as well, and then some also important fundamental and macro news as well. So as always, families, you enjoy the content, doing this stuff daily. Now, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. And those who are not a part of the free Discord server, definitely tune in and check it out if you haven't done so already. That is not my channel. That is an XRP channel. Not supporting the XRP maxi mentality, therefore, but no. So we can see here, yes. If you want to find out more, check out the free community. I did make an announcement, or I mentioned a few minutes ago actually, that the face cam that people have been hoping and praying for will be going live on Thursday. So you will be seeing my face, my beautiful mug, in a couple days' time, right after the FOMC meeting, and actually coinciding with the final day for the Kaspa, well, for the Binance Blockchain 100 award, where you're seeing right now Tom Blinsky and Mark Sutton leading this race. Hopefully it continues in that fashion going forward. So I've got a bit of a cough right now. I'm not sure what's happening. Hopefully you'll go midway through the stream right now. But yes, as it stands right now, if you want to find out more, stay up to date with crypto and Kaspa and everything else, and check out the free community. Links are down below in the description and also on my homepage here as well. But now that we've got that out of the way, welcome back once more, family, to the stream, to the roundtable, to the live stream. We've got Dung Knight here first. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very well. Gosu, welcome back, my man. Working on the radio mode. So thank you very much for being here. Hopefully you enjoying my voice. I'll try and slow it down a bit so you can understand what I'm saying. So hopefully you enjoy that. Thank you for tuning in once more, brother. Welcome back, baby daddy man. You're doing very well. Buffalo, yours to you too. Good evening, Brett. Having a great day so far, I hope. Hey QC, what made you an XRP maxi? Well, yeah, unfortunately the little YouTube bonanza did not support that claim. I'm not an XRP maximalist. I do hold XRP because I've been following this project. It's one of the top assets. I've been following this project for years and years, and I saw their lawsuit. I didn't think the SEC was going to win it, so I decided to hold a bag. And while that gamble paid off, XRP has made a significant rally since the lawsuit concluded. And it was valued at 50 cents, 40 cents, went up to $3.50 at one point as well. So, a good gamble for me. I've taken a big portion of my XRP bag out now, putting it back into Kaspa. But I still hold some XRP because while I don't have trust in the project, I see what's being built and the partnerships they have, and I think that FOMO alone will drive the value up higher. So I'm hoping to make some profits off that, basically. Welcome back, Double D, bro. You're doing very well, my man. Welcome back, Wei. Hope you're doing very well, my man. Tony, yes, caught in the act. Jay is not a Kaspa maxi, it's an XRP maxi. Yeah, say what you will. I know where my heart lies. Jay's face gonna spearhead the bull run. I mean, maybe. Again, the ongoing joke in our community right now is that the moment I started doing my live streams, Kaspa went down in value. So it would be very comical if the moment I start doing face cam, Kaspa starts making that push up. That would be, almost poetic, When are you going to do an X live or live on Discord? It's a good question. I've not really considered a live on Discord. I do weekly live streams with my VIPs, which are in the Discord server. So every Sunday normally, or again Monday, depending on availabilities, but every single week, me and the VIPs will host a roundtable, which normally takes place in the Discord server. In regards to Twitter or X, I haven't decided if I'm going to do one yet. It probably makes sense to do one considering I've got a big following on there as well. And Twitter seems to be the, I guess, arguably bigger platform for it. So I'll probably end up doing something in that regard soon. It might end up just being a case where I stream on YouTube and Twitter at the same time. I think you can do that actually. And if I can, I'll do the same time. Then people can choose if they want to tune in on each other platform or both. Again, depending on how you fancy it. A Wealth Ranger, welcome back. Massive Bitcoin rejection, 100k is next. I mean, if you believe that's the case, then so be it. It got rejected here at 116,000. Doesn't guarantee we're going to be going down to 100k next, as you're suggesting. We have got some big catalysts coming through over the next few days, which will have significant impacts on the markets. The FOMC meeting, which will be rate cuts. Unless we don't get rate cuts, that would be quite disastrous, but it's unlikely that won't happen. We've got Jerome Powell's press conference afterwards. That will also be giving us some clarity on the markets or whatever clarity is available. Trump is going to be meeting with Xi Jinping on Thursday to finalize, hopefully, a trade deal. And then you've got a lot of the Mag 7 companies like Apple and Meta and whatnot, Amazon, who are producing and publishing their earnings reports. So we have got quite a number of significant macro and fundamental updates coming out. And if they do beat expectations and do, or even align with expectations, then 100k Bitcoin is not coming. It's just not coming. If they do align with expectations, 100k Bitcoin is not going to happen. If they end up acting against our expectations, so earnings all miss the mark, Trump does not get a trade negotiation with China, and then you see a trade war breaking out, and Jerome Powell does not end QT, and we get no confirmation of more rate cuts, then yes, maybe we see a big correction. But that is, again, the worst case scenario. If you're looking at the more likely case scenario right now, you're going to probably just see Bitcoin maybe come back down to 110, maybe 107, or just holding around here. And then you see the push up. You know, we still need to see Bitcoin. For me, Bitcoin needs to try and surpass 116k and hold that. Like have a daily candle above 116k, and then we see the push upwards. But I don't think 100k is next, not yet. We haven't seen 100k Bitcoin since June. I think if we got 100k Bitcoin, that would probably put a lot of sentiment towards the bull run being over. I don't think that's going to happen right now. I'm more inclined to say the price is going to, worst case, come to 110k, maybe back to 107k, depending, but more than likely it's going to just make this push up going into November. XRP disgusts me. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like XRP in this community, and that's perfectly fine. Again, I don't particularly love XRP. I never stated I love XRP. The same way I talk about other proof of stakes. My reasoning for holding them is another hedge against, fiat, but also, I guess, against Kaspa's lackluster price action right now. But I hold other assets. I've been public about the ones I hold. Not all of them, because some of them I've exclusively named to my VIPs. I mentioned a new crypto that I'm holding today with my VIPs because I do think it's going to do quite well in the upcoming rally. But I hold assets like Zebek, Ondu, I hold assets like Tau, which has been fantastic today, despite it's coming back a little bit now, but it did fantastic earlier and it's going to probably continue doing well. Not all of them are decentralized, of course. Some of them are crypto companies, and there's a risk to that, but I'm willing to take the gamble to flip profits and then take profit out and putting it elsewhere. And of course, most of my profits go back into Kaspa because it is, for me, the safest and most secure asset in this space. We didn't recover the crash tariff. Kaspa hasn't, no. Well, Kaspa right now, well, technically it has. No, tell a lie, it hasn't, because the crash tariff was at 7.3 cents for Kaspa. For Bitcoin, the crash was 121k. That's when it started. It ended here at 113k, which Bitcoin has surpassed, not been able to hold just yet. Ethereum, similar thing, started at 4.3k, came down to 3.8k, and Ethereum is actually doing better than that right now. So Ethereum is above the bottom of the tariff crash. Bitcoin is hovering around there. Kaspa is holding at where it finished on the daily, around 5.5 cents right now, which is reassuring. I want to see it trying to break above back at 7.3 again. The only asset that has confidently, or there's a very small number, but there's only a few assets that have actually managed to regain that tariff crash, and one of them is Tau. Tau is one of the few crypto projects that have managed to regain its value and then some since that tariff crashed back on October 10th, which is also why I have been bullish on Tau. And I made a big announcement today that I made a video on, which is also why I think Tau has a possibility for a breakout more than any other asset in the immediate future, based on the big catalyst coming out this week, hopefully. And then, of course, Tau's update next week, which could incite some momentum going upwards. It could also be a buy the rumors on the news event, as anything is FOMO and whatnot, but we'll get to that again in a little bit. I think we need more tariffs, bigger, more beautiful ones. More beautiful ones. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Right now, we just need to see some clarity. I think right now, tariffs, we can talk about their benefits or negatives till death do us part. The point being is tariffs as a fundamental causes a lot of fun in the markets. People don't like the idea of tariffs because tariffs, that word around it now, by many economists, have been just associated with inflation rising and just bad for the American economy. Despite the fact that it's proven otherwise right now, tariffs don't react positively to the market. So a bigger, more beautiful one would cause more significant pullbacks, which maybe for the better, because that means we can get a cheaper bag. But if you want to see a rally right now, you want to see Trump's trade deal of China go through, avoiding any tariffs, basically. You want to see Jerome Powell end QT tomorrow, alongside putting rate cuts as well. You want to see the earning reports from all the major tech and infrastructure companies just print and beat expectations. But again, we'll have to see if that comes to fruition or not. And then, good evening, Hanny. Hope you're doing very, very well, man. Good evening, Erica as well. Cam, face. Yes, that will be going live soon. Don't worry. Not too long now. Hanny, please vote for some Polinsky and Sutton. Yes, I'll be talking about that in just a second, as I do in all my streams. Just again, the current ongoing blockchain Binance 100 blockchain award, where right now Don Polinsky and Michael Sutton are the two leading their categories respectively, which is good because again, it's all done organically, where you've got the other ones who are like runners up who are promoting and shouting themselves out, trying to say, please vote for me, where Don Polinsky and Sutton just don't care. But we're doing it for them because we believe in what they're doing. I think they deserve the accolades, the recognition. I've been voting every day in the Binance 100. Good man, but I'd love to hear it. CAS needs to all-time high to help reduce my stress levels. Yeah, I don't disagree, Enzo. I think a lot of people are in a similar boat to you. I mean, I can say I've lost my fair share of hair during this crypto cycle. I still think we've got time, though. You know, you've heard from, I think we see this run, a kind of start of a run going into 2026 by this point, provided, again, all the developments come through as expected. I'm just taking the mic out of it. I don't care. I just like to hear you ramble. Hey, thank you very much, baby daddy, man. I appreciate you very much. I know you're joking about the XRP stuff. I know most people here are joking. Well, they're joking about me with it. They don't like XRP, but they're joking about it with me about XRP, which I get. History shows that Kaspa does not care about your stress. Also very true. Welcome back, Lieutenant Bro. You're doing very, very well, Munya. Not at all. Not at all, but hopefully this week we'll start seeing the start of the rally. Welcome, Falco Bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. And also, Quarter Crawler. What's up, my man? Sub, like, tax paid. Yes, indeed. Welcome back, brother. Hope you're all doing very well. Thank you all for being here once more. And now that we have got through that, let's get into today's content. So, where do we start? Let's start with some Kaspa updates first. So, to start off with, we can see in regards to this post from the Kaspa Daily, Kaspa community sentiment has dropped to the lowest level in months, with many investors feeling frustrated and demoralized by recent price action, which is, obviously duh, right? This phase reflects the classic fear and disbelief stage in market psychology, when confidence fades and sentiment turns negative, even though fundamentals often remain strong, which you cannot disagree. When it comes to fundamentals, Kaspa has not wavered one bit. The price has dwindled, yes, but fundamentally, Kaspa is as strong, if not stronger than ever before. And historically, such moments have marked the late stages of correction cycles. As fear peaks while long-term conviction is tested, markets tend to move from greed to fear and back again. And those who remain patient through the cycle will often benefit the most once momentum returns. So in another way of just saying it, at this moment in time, with fear being so incredibly high and conviction truly being tested more than ever before, at this moment you tend to start seeing the effect that we've been waiting for a long time, the price starting to actually make a move. Of course, time will tell if history will repeat itself or not, but I'm optimistic that it will, based on the incoming catalysts. And before we get into those incoming catalysts, another Kaspa news as well, we can see that with only a few days left, only a few days remaining, we've got, I think, 2 days or so. Yeah, the votes, that's voting. That's what I said. I thought it's meant to end on October 26th, but apparently it's now October 30th, which is in 2 days' time. Which, if it was 26th, then Tom Polinsky and Marcus would have won that. But apparently it's 30th now. But either way, we're going to see this event, the voting, conclude in 2 days when I will be doing Facecam. And then the winners will be announced on November 3rd. And the award ceremony will be in Dubai on December 3rd. So that means that hashtag Tom Polinsky, Marcus Sutton will hopefully both win it. Right now, they are the front runners. Marcus Sutton has managed to regain first place above this individual here by about 200 odd votes or so. And Tom Polinsky has got a gap about 500-600 as well from second place here as well. So as long as the community continues to vote every single day, doing our part, logging into Binance voting, putting our one vote towards these two every single day, then these two will get first place, will get their accolades, get their reward from Binance in December. And is this a very, very big deal? Well, it's sentiment, right? For me, I think it's important because it showcases the conviction and the organic nature of Kaspa community to, get Kaspa's top contributors to the top, whereas the other people below them are shouting themselves out and doing airdrops and whatnot to try and get their votes up. Kaspa's just doing it, just pushing them up there, just out of pure love and conviction for what they have built and believing in that what they're going to build is going to be the next big thing. So I think that in itself is a great deal. And you could argue that with this, you'd end up seeing, Binance take more recognition of Kaspa again, because even after all this 2 years of, waiting for Binance, conviction has remained still very, very strong. So strong that these two end up winning. So you could argue that Binance will take more of a notice of Kaspa, therefore. It doesn't guarantee a listing, of course. You can't think in that manner. Don't be emotional. Think logically. Willingness does not guarantee a listing, but it does bring more recognition to Kaspa, to the two top contributors and developers of Kaspa. So that could hopefully incite more adoption as well, which we are starting to see come through in some shape. Exciting times. The Binance Square employees just shouted out Tom Polinsky in their latest post. You can see that here, which is a pretty reassuring news in some aspect. And of course, if they win again, would be a big deal. But it's not just that. We're also seeing, we posted here from Scape, Joel here has just made a comment here, responding to this individual here, Diamond Polar Bear, in regard to Kaspa. He's been looking into Kaspa a little bit more last night. It's an interesting approach to scaling a basic UTXO chain while lessening the inherent slow confirmation problem of proof of work. And I'm not too averse to who this individual here is, except for the fact that he has apparently the business development and marketing for DashPay, which DashPay is quite a big company in regards to giving people payment company basically with almost 500,000 followers here. So you've got someone from DashPay basically looking more towards onboarding on Kaspa. So you can see here, business development and marketing lead for DashPay finds Kaspa as an interesting solution to scaling proof of work, which again, that's the whole premise of why I find this particularly quite big news. Because as you see, from a Web3 perspective or a small, medium business perspective, or even maybe just in a bigger perspective, if you are someone who's taking note of the blockchain 100 and you see Marcus Sutton and Tom Polinsky win it, they're like, you're not going to look at 5th, 6th, 7th, you'll look at who the top three are, most likely just the top. Who won this? You see Marcus Sutton. Who's Marcus Sutton? Oh, he is a contributor of the DAG Labs. He was part of DAG Labs. He's now working with Kaspa. Who's Tom Polinsky? Or the exact same project. How comes the two top Kaspa contributors have won? Let's go into Kaspa a little bit. They find more about Tom Polinsky, about how Nick Szabo, so he's an expert in Bitcoin security, a skill set and scarce supply. They then find out that Tom Polinsky is the most quoted academic for Bitcoin security as well, which is significant news. So you find Tom Polinsky as someone who is evidently very well integrated, very well known, and very well respected intellect in the crypto space, and he's focusing on Kaspa and his, Robin to his Batman. Michael Sutton's also there with him. So that can maybe incite people to look further into what they are building, what's going to be coming out soon, being the Dag Knight and the VProgs and the MEV resistance and everything else in the Oracle system. And that could potentially not, again, it's not a case of, oh yes, hear that, FOMO can go up. You've got to, I'm trying in these streams actually to slowly but surely mold you all out of this mentality of price up, price down, that's all that matters, because it's not. Of course, you want price to go up, and I'm not saying it's not important, but you can't expect Kaspa to win this price goes up, 20% or something like that. It's not going to cause these FOMO candles. These are just simply bringing more recognition and adoption to Kaspa, or recognition that could result in more adoption. And once the adoption starts accumulating more and more and more, that in turn results in more demand for a project, and then you've got a simple supply versus demand. When there's demand outweighs the supply coming in, that causes positive price action. So for me, continue voting for Binance. We've got 2 days left. Keep doing it. Keep putting in the good word about Son Polinsky and Marcus Sutton. Let these two win. Both these two don't care at all from the looks of things, but if we can help get them to win, I'm sure they would be appreciative, and it would again further prove the conviction of Kaspa's community. These two would win, more eyes come to Kaspa, and then you're going to see more people like people from DashPay, and you're going to see other institutions, other payment solutions and whatnot, probably also then start to consider using Kaspa's blockchain, BlockDApp protocol as the hub, if you will, for their business, because it is just something that is scalable while remaining as secure and decentralized, something that has not been done in this space, and it's continuing to improve more and more. More developers are coming through in the coming months and years to follow. So this is a big deal. I very much like that, and that's also why, again, I think, fundamentals have not changed. If anything, they got stronger than before, but we're seeing our conviction being truly tested right now, which is interesting. It's interesting, and I mean, my conviction hasn't wavered one bit. I have the utmost confidence in what's coming to crypto, and I think Kaspa is not going to miss out on this party for a moment. The conviction is dropping down. That's fine by me. I'll continue to feed off that conviction, the FUD coming in. You're seeing in other news as well, Kaspa's nodes starting to rally up more and more and more. We had the goal of trying to get to 1,000 public nodes by Kaspa's 4th birthday, which, time is quickly running out from that. We've got, I think about a week or two left now. We're at half the goal, which is not bad, 500 nodes, and Flux has helped in that. Since the integration, they've added 170 new Kaspa nodes via Flux Cloud, which is very big news. Now, just to kind of clarify, it's great, but at the same time, if too many nodes go into Flux as opposed to you setting up independently, then it does kind of centralize this element. So just a food for thought more than anything else there right now, but you are starting to see again more and more Kaspa nodes going online, all over the world. In America, a hell of a lot in Europe right now, other parts as well around the world, some in South America, a couple in Africa, one, don't even know where this is exactly, off the coast of Madagascar, some in Australia, some in parts of Asia as well. So you're seeing it going online more and more and more, and I'm sure you'll see a lot more coming through as well over the coming days, weeks and years to follow as Kaspa ends up slowly but surely taking over the world. So that's also reassuring. Now we have got some breaking news in regards to Kaspa once more. This one regarding the KRI. So what's going to happen right now, as I've been rambling for a little bit, we've covered the Binance stuff again, definitely if you haven't done so already. The Binance stuff again, we covered the fact that more payment companies, more institutions, more businesses are looking at Kaspa potentially onboarding onto their protocol in the future. Seeing nodes going online. We'll get into this post from the KRI and Paul Van Son, and then after we do, I'll play this video from Marathon and ultimately try my best to correlate that and relate it to Kaspa going forward. And then we will be getting into some other fundamental news and then into some other crypto sources from Zebek and Tao. Tao, of course, for me is a very, very big one to get into in this stream. Before I do, though, some questions real quickly. Good day, Navy. Hope you're doing very, very well, my man. Alyssa, Queen, it's been a minute. Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back. Having a great day so far. Mr. Miles, first, as always, welcome back, brother. Maybe Binance is doing this to get more eyes on Kaspa before listing. They know how strong the community is and will probably win. They've dropped so many hints. This is just to help retail connect the dots. I mean, it's not a bad theory. Not a bad theory. We've seen many, leaks, hints, whatever you want to call it, from Binance. We've seen many of them. So, I'm not saying it's improbable by any means. Is it the case? Again, we really just don't know. That's the whole problem. We just don't know the truth of the matter. I think Binance are very sure that they do want to list Kaspa. They just don't have any incentive to do it right now. That's kind of just where I stand with it. I have the utmost conviction they will list Kaspa. When is the ultimate question? We just don't know. But they have been talking to Kaspa, talking to the tech team, asking tech questions. They've been continuously contacting Kaspa. They've been launching a perpetual futures contract since, July, June, August time, 2024. So it's been over a year now. The mining pool's been up and running for equally or just about as long. So they've been with Kaspa for a long time. They've shorted a lot of Kaspa as well. So I'm sure spot listing is inevitable. And when it does happen, that will be your FOMO candle. When Binance launches a Kaspa spot trading pair, that is when you can expect a FOMO candle, a God candle. Otherwise, every other development catalyst for Kaspa, while significant and very big, they're fundamental building blocks. They won't necessarily cause a FOMO candle. You might see some rallies. As you look at developments, you should think back to May 5th here, when the Binance, when the Kaspa 10 BPS went live. You did see Kaspa make this move here, 40% in value off the back of 10 BPS. So it doesn't mean you're not going to see any movement at all, but you won't expect FOMO candles, That's 10 BPS. That's what you saw 10 BPS. And then people asking about Kraken. Kraken's listing actually was good. People don't think it was good. You just saw this massive fall off here. But back here on November 10th, which is right here, November 10th was when the KEF had their AMA on Twitter, where they mentioned that they'd be talking to exchanges of what they answered a lot of questions. Also in regards to when the tier 1 lists are going to come through. They said that Binance, Coinbase, those lot, they're like, no idea really. But Kraken was going to be coming through very, very soon. So they made that announcement, Kaspa went up. And then on the 14th of November, which is this day right here, Kraken made the announcement about Kaspa. And they're going to launch the project. So off the back of that, you saw Kaspa rally up up here. The 19th, where the 19th is when Kraken did launch. So you saw a 32% rally, it came back, it held up here, and then rallied up a little bit further before then making that big correction off the back of all the developments like in the Middle East and what else happened at that point as well. So despite Kraken not causing the God candle people expected, it did cause positive price action and quite a volatile one in all honesty. You saw a total of 50%, if not a little bit more, if you got all the way back from when the KEF made the announcement back here. So, of course, Binance is a lot bigger, so Binance will call it... Damn, how's my throat doing? Let me take a quick drink of water. Sorry, guys. So Kraken did cause a significant rally, at least in my perspective. Quite a decent one. Not a God candle, not, what you saw all the way back here, but still a significant one. Of course, Binance is a significantly bigger exchange, so when Binance lists, you can expect, most likely, Binance announcement alone would cause this. Once it actually goes live, you expect a bit of a pullback, but I think it's similar to Kraken, where I find a pullback, not come back as far as you expect, and then find solitude, start finding support, and then start making that move up again in movement with the rest of the market, again depending on when they list it or not. Yeah, the only form of candles you can expect really would be exchange listings. Otherwise, then everything else is a building block for more dollars to come through in the future. Doesn't mean you won't see any movement, it just means that you won't see any God candles. That's kind of, you got to understand from that. But anyway, that being said, in regards to building blocks, let's get into the KII. So the KII, like they're listening to us or something like that, finally made an update, which, we've been asking for a long, long time. They said, for everyone asking for updates, we're making great progress with Warp Core and the ISO 20022 plus other standard rails, which the other standard rails are like KYC, AML, which is anti-money laundering. So they're making great progress with Warp Core and the ISO 20022, which is necessary for future payments, whatnot. You're seeing the massive migration from SWIFT and 91% of all financial institutions to US 20022 in November next month. So the good updates from that regard, therefore. Also here next up is carbon markets, and we will be demonstrating some of the technical developments around this next week at the DII Desert Energy Summit in Dubai, also showcasing some of the 23 different projects and solutions for differing use cases, including real-world asset tokenization to our industrial partners. And remember, their partners include PwC, one of the big four accounting firms, Shell, one of the biggest energy companies in the world, Hyundai, Bosch, E.ON Energy, Siemens, and many, many more banks, manufacturing companies and whatnot. They've got some big connections, big partnerships, and they're going to be learning a lot more about stuff coming out to Kaspa, how to utilize real-world asset tokenization, all these sort of things that will take more shape going forward. These won't affect the market price of Kaspa, but they will lead to more industrial institutional adoption, which will start in time to increase the demand for this asset, and that will therefore correlate to a rally in price. It's not going to be an overnight thing, though. You've got to understand this thing's not immediate, and even amounts here as well. VPOGs are going to be super helpful for them as well to get everything online, which you can expect. So hopefully VPOGs do meet the projected timeline, which is roughly mid-2025 from what we've heard from some sources. We have to wait and see. We have some others who believe, understandably, it's going to take a lot longer than that. So time will tell, of course. But that's a good thing to hear from the KRI. And in regards to that as well, Paul Van Sons made a sort of separate update, but equally talking about the sort of benefits in regards to proof of work cryptos and Kaspa. Therefore, if you haven't heard already, China has unveiled, synthetic gold. So a way to kind of just create gold, which is kind of crazy to think, because the whole premise of why gold is store of value is because it's limited supply. So you can just create gold out of thin air, then what's the point? But synthetic gold to conquer the gold market would be crazy. So Paul Van Sons says here, if gold can really be produced at lower cost than persistently mining gold, like synthetic diamonds are, it could dethrone gold as a store of value, which is completely true. On the other hand, it would make scarce proof-of-work cryptos, like Bitcoin and Kaspa with their finite supply of 21 million and 28.7 billion, even more unique and valuable. So honestly, despite the backlash it would end up causing, if this becomes a thing, that could be very beneficial for Bitcoin and Kaspa, because it ruins the whole element of why gold is the ultimate reserve currency. It's a store of value, because there's a finite supply of it in the world. But if you can just create it out of thin air, produce it, then what's the point? Bitcoin and Kaspa, you can argue the same thing, but you'd have to actively hard fork the project to create more tokens or more coins even. And the community won't let that happen. So it's physically impossible for you to, hard fork and create more Bitcoin and Kaspa. So I don't want this to come true. I don't think it should come true. But in the case it does do, and if it ends up having a significant impact on the gold market, of course, I don't think it will do. To my knowledge, the diamonds didn't really have a big impact on the market. But if it does end up impacting gold quite significantly, that could definitely be more beneficial to Bitcoin and Kaspa. And then there's a final update in respect of the institutional side of things for Kaspa, before we get into other big fundamental news, macro news, and other projects. This is a recent summit interview from Marathon Digital Holdings, their government summit, which brought together an exclusive group of policymakers, industry leaders, all over the world, where they're sharing their insights on growing intersection of Bitcoin, energy, and AI, which I'll be linking this in my free Discord community. So if you're not a part of that community, definitely go check it out. Links to join it down below in the description and on my homepage here as well. Free Discord server right here. I'm not playing it for copyright reasons. I should have spliced the music and audio out beforehand. Apologize for that. But just to kind of recap on this regard, therefore, they are talking about what they did say in this interview is that they are trying to find ways to navigate and see how the benefit and value and revenue you can end up making through Bitcoin, energy, and AI use cases, Bitcoin mining. So of course, with Marathon also diversifying for the first time ever into Kaspa a year or so back now, or even 2 years back now, while they don't talk about Kaspa nearly as much, understandably, and they don't really showcase Kaspa on their balance sheet anymore, they still do hold and mine Kaspa. And this could also be easily attributed to Kaspa as well. So in the short Kaspa update then, sentiment's falling lower, not too concerning. This could also be a sign of times turning and price hopefully rallying soon. Kaspa's core contributors, Tom Polinsky and Marcus are winning the Binance Blockchain 100 award thingy, so just continue voting. Hopefully they win the next couple of days. You're seeing the interns and Binance Square employees shouting them out. You're seeing external parties like from DashPay also starting to take more recognition of Kaspa, which is again the benefit of these sort of events and just Kaspa's adoption as a whole. It's getting more recognition. While it's still definitely slow, it's still getting it, which is proof that it's, if you're seeing developers wanting to build on Kaspa, then the project's not going to fall off. If developers want to build on the project, then it's not going to fall off and go to zero because it's getting the adoption slowly, but it's getting it. They're waiting for some certain catalysts, probably VPROGs as well. Nodes are going up more and more, which is great to see. All the Caspians out there. KRI talking about things going smoothly, and you're going to see, or you're not going to see it, but they're going to be showcasing some significant projects and updates in respects to Kaspa and broad asset tokenization to their industrial clients next week. Kaspa and Bitcoin are in a very strong spot. You're seeing the adoption continue to rally more of institutional sentiment. Of course, that could correlate to Kaspa as well. And then with that being known, we now can get into why tomorrow is going to be very, very big. And then get into some questions again. So to start off with, we now apparently have a 98% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut tomorrow from Jerome Powell and a 2% chance of a 50 basis point cut. Now, I don't think 50 is going to happen. And they also agree it won't happen. But we have got a very interesting situation happening right now where the Fed's reverse repo, their balance sheet is dwindling. It's almost dry. You've got the inflation, which is starting to rally, but it's kind of holding strong. The unemployment is getting out of control from the looks of things. And it's going to get worse very soon as well. So you can see here, I'll get to that in a moment. Recent layoff announcements, UPS, 48,000 employees, Amazon, up to 30,000 employees, Intel, 24,000, Nestle, 16,000, Accenture, 11,000, Ford, 11,000, and so on and so forth. So many people getting laid off, which means the labor market is clearly weakening. And if you remember, not too long ago, that's crazy because I just watched this earlier. I literally looked this earlier, so I don't know why it's doing that now. Okay, well, in regards to this article, which I looked through earlier before now being put up against a paywall, it stated, and you should already remember anyways, that Jerome Powell and the Fed had pivoted away from their inflation first approach to one of a jobs market approach first. So how they're judging rate cuts now and the US economy and its health is no longer based on the inflation. I mean, inflation is still going to be important, of course, but they're having, instead of saying tariff and inflation are our main concerns right now, we need those to be lower first. They're now like, okay, we need to focus on the unemployment that's getting too out of control right now. You see the economy stagnating. So, inflation, tariffs be damned. We need to get the employment going up again. So this is not going to help out at all in that regard. So that's good. So you may see more rate cuts. You have heard it from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, these leading institutions saying that because of the lack of money in the economy, the reverse repo running dry, we should be seeing the end of QT this week. So potentially tomorrow after the meeting, Jerome Powell's press conference will be announcing the end of QT as well. That would be a very bullish catalyst as well. Also this week, happening tomorrow on Thursday, some of the Mag 7 companies like Amazon and that will be publishing their earnings reports, and we can see out of the 145 S&P 500 companies that have reported so far in the earnings season, 84% have managed to beat analyst forecasts, while 14% have missed. So right now, it looks like we are seeing companies beat expectations time and time again. So the hope, especially with the big tech companies, these big companies were publishing their reports tomorrow, if they continue to beat it as well, you'll likely see stocks significantly rally off the back of that as well, showcasing more strength in the economy than we realize in the investing market. That would also benefit risk on stocks, crypto, equities, and those sort of markets as well, which would be fantastic as well. And of course, also on Thursday, you're going to see Trump and China have a meeting to try and finalize the trade deals. Apparently, they're set to reduce port fees on shipments between both countries, according to the Wall Street Journal. We'll find out soon enough, but this week's going to be a very big one. Tomorrow's going to be huge. Thursday's going to equally be very, very big, because I'm going to be going face cam, not because of Trump, not Trump at all, because I'm going face cam on Thursday. And we'll see how the week develop from there as well. And then hopefully leading into November, which is on Saturday, going into Monday, 3rd of November, you'll start seeing the markets behave accordingly and more bullish. We're starting to see some good things in that regard as well, with Solana, Litecoin, and Hedera HBAR all these three assets have now got spot ETFs that are live on the Nasdaq. Fantastic news, huge news there. And according to this post here from the Coin Bureau, JP Morgan have upcoming altcoin ETFs as well, which could draw 14 billions in inflows, with XRP ETFs at 8 billion, and then Solana at 6 billion as well. So we could see significantly more ETFs filings coming in the latter 2 months of this year, which would incite more momentum going into 2026. How much longer into 2026, we don't know just yet, but it could mean a slightly extended bull run, with so much more coming through into the space, institutional adoption, ETF, regulatory clarity, and then everything else the institutions are looking at as well regarding tokenization and whatnot, AI use case, all stuff that I've mentioned in my videos and these live streams, and equally in a lot more detail to my VIP community. So once more, again, if you want to find out more information, we do weekly live streams every single week. Of course, trade alerts, which this week was not as good as last week, unfortunately. Last week we did a lot better. 6 trades, 6 wins. This week was not as great, but it still wasn't the worst. If you can see here, so still overall a good week, I'd like to say, for our community. So if you want to find out more, participate in trades, the live streams, the alpha documentation, the spot buys we're putting in there, everything else you want to find out more, level up your game, find out how to not just make money actively, but also passively. We should be doing that in the coming weeks as well. Then check out the VIP 7-day free trial, links down below in the description, or again, you can get a 1-month free trial if you sign up to the affiliate link to BYDFI down below in the description. No KYC and a VPN regulated exchange who are working alongside as well. If you need any help setting that up, again, just reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter and I'll help you out whatever I can do. But this market's going to go through a big move soon. And I think Kaspa and crypto is going to see a lot of volume coming through. Kaspa, for me, I think is going to do very well still. So all these other projects like Sebek and Tau, which I'll get to in a very short moment. Before I do, let me get some questions again, because it has been about 10 minutes or so. Welcome back, Kryptoni, bro. You're doing very well. Are we Moon yet? Not yet, Wing Hong. Hopefully soon, though. I just added a node to the network last night. Big stuff, Mr. Miles. Love to hear that, brother. Keep going, my man. Binance is building infrastructure on Kaspa. They're just not listing it. Speculating, of course, but mark my words. Hey, you know what? I do believe you. To an aspect, I do believe you. I think it's possible. What hardware using, Mr. Miles? A PC. There you go. Would I need a computer to solely work as a Kaspa node? Like, would I have to buy one to specifically dedicate it to being a Kaspa node? I don't actually know the answer to that, because I don't run a node myself. I'm sure it's not a hard answer to me to figure out and find. If you need any help setting up any form of nodes or any questions in that regard, I know Tony is a lot more knowledgeable than I am, and we even have in our free Discord server, despite the jokes that's going on in there right now. You can see in our Discord server we have a running nodes channel here that Tony's contributed a lot to as well. So I'm sure he'll be happy to ask a question if you want to ask one there. Ask if you're unsure about anything, and I don't know the answer, because of course I'm only human. I don't run those, so I'm not as well knowledgeable in that aspect. Then ask in the community, and I'm sure one of our community members, our Caspians, will answer for you as well. Don't know what's going on there. I'm not doing a live stream like that, Erica. You know, not happening. Not happening at all. Something I built back in 2020. Okay. Kaspa will help Kraken catch up to Coinbase in the next few years. I mean, if Coinbase don't list Kaspa, then maybe. It sounds like quite a tall stretch, but I mean, Coinbase got a big advantage, but Kraken would definitely start rallying up more so in regards to, trying to get IPOs out as well, building up their business more so as well. So, and Kaspa's kind of like benefit to them as well. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Synthetic diamonds didn't hurt the diamond market really, so I doubt God will do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm a similar sentiment. It might affect the mindset of it, due to how gold is perceived as store of value, so it might affect that mentality. But I don't think it would be too impactful. People want real, and it's easy to tell them apart. True. So he knows about Kaspa, and he is betting big on it. just like when he sold his 200K apartment in 2013 and bought Bitcoin at $600. When he finally tweeted about Kaspa, it's going to be insane. I mean, we have seen a lot of posts from CZ that does seem to correlate and have some form of hints, if you will, maybe, at it being about Kaspa. Let me see if I can get one up right now. I say hints about Kaspa. It's not really hints about Kaspa. He has made some posts in the past where well, he actually had this one here as well, which is probably one of the biggest tells, if you will, which I'll play out, which is when CZ was talking about high-speed blockchain solutions and the fact that they haven't reached the pinnacle just yet. So that's one element that I think means he could be potentially have eyes on Kaspa, which we listen to right now.
We'll probably spend system, which is free, which is open, which is what crypto is about. So I'm really fascinated to learn. And then I think a key critical component, which I will probably spend some time learning about, is high performance blockchains. I think blockchains are still too slow. So I've been talking to quite a number of interesting people about how to do even faster performance blockchains, including like FPG.
Now, of course, this is in Asta AMA. Of course, he is an advocate for Asta. But I mean, he's not wrong there. Blockchains, for the most part, are still fundamentally too slow. To onboard the whole entire financial system, blockchains are still too slow. So that's one element that could support the fact that, again, CZ probably does know about Kaspa, but if that's not enough, I can see if I'll try and find another one as well, which would be this one. Shout out to Greg, who posted this in last month, where CZ said back in 2023, to keep it simple, spend more time on less things, do's and don'ts. Education, compliance, product and service, ignore FUD, fake news, attacks, etc. In the future, would appreciate if you can link to this post when I tweet 4, which he did tweet 4 a little bit later on from that as well. But yeah, again, talking about just ignore FUD, fake news and attacks. That's kind of the sentiment I have for Kaspa. The FUD about Kaspa is nothing related to tokenomics or fundamentals, or just bad price action, which again, that's short-lived. That stuff is not for me a big concern. And then if I want to find one more, because I know there's one that I'm thinking about in particular, which is somewhere in my Discord server that I'm trying to search through right now. Yeah, there you go. Hype may win short-term, builders win long-term. It's just, again, nothing about Kaspa at all, but so easily, you can so easily correlate that to Kaspa, so easily. Because what I believe fundamentally happened with Kaspa here was hype and FOMO. This was all hype and FOMO here. Kaspa's amazing, next Bitcoin, yada, yada, yada. And then this whole pull-off here has been just proof that hype and FOMO, again, is short-lived. And it's been tough. But the thing is, Kaspa's not stopped building throughout the whole time. If anything, they've been building a lot. You've seen KYC 20s come online. You've seen Cashback Layer 2s come online. Whether they're good or not is up for your own interpretation, but you've seen developments and building coming online. You've seen 10 BPS, what completely successful, no issues whatsoever. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And on the back of that, you've seen a stress test of 158 million transactions in 24 hours. On Kaspa, insane. You've seen, seen the development of VProgs now coming through, Dagnite now coming through as well. You've seen building continuously happen, which is great stuff. So again, another thing for me that's like CZ, maybe he knows a Kaspa. Again, that's still just speculation, but I mean, Kaspa's been a top 20 asset at one point. It's not in the top 50 right now, to my knowledge. No, 54. But it's been up there, and it's got its recognition. I'm pretty sure every major Bitcoin maximalist knows of Kaspa. They don't like it because it threatens Bitcoin and whatever other reasons you want to give, but they know of Kaspa. Kaspa is still very much in a small niche bubble. You can't be ignorant to that. But Kaspa is, is being ignored, but its names exist in the minds of the big. That's my belief. And yeah, it's possible as well. Maybe he does know about it. Welcome, Jay Honey. It's been a minute, bro. You're doing very, very well. I have to catch up in the morning. Hey, it's all good, brother. Thank you for tuning in either way and giving a message. And hopefully you enjoy the content when you rewatch it. Why is Litecoin trending? Because Litecoin has got an ETF live on the Nasdaq now, alongside BYDFI and Solana. And Solana's got a Grayscale ETF going live tomorrow. So you had Bitwise that launched Solana ETF today, and Canary Capital, a Canary fund, launched Litecoin and HBAR. And then Grayscale could be launching another Solana one tomorrow as well. Good evening, Don. Hope you're doing very, very well. Working, but I'm here. Great stuff, brother. Thank you for tuning in once more. Hope you're doing very, very well. Who will win in a fight, CZ or Brian Armstrong? Bet all the Baldies. That's a good question. I don't know the dynamics, the diameters, the physique of the both of the two. I'm going to say Brian Armstrong. I think he might be a bit taller, a bit more muscly than CZ. My node is running on an old laptop just fine. Yeah, so that's the one benefit I know about Kaspa in regards to running nodes, is that the way it's been kind of set up is that you can afford to have literally decade-old hardware and still run a node. It won't be as efficient, of course, but you can still run one. You haven't got to have a brand new PC. You can literally have a 10-year-old, piece of crap, and it would still let you run a node. CZ also spent a period tweeting about the trilemma and the importance of solving it. Yeah, I do remember that. I haven't got the post about that, unfortunately, but I do remember that as well. So I'm sure the CZ is very well aware of it. The same way as Binance is also talking to Kaspa, I'm sure CZ also knows about it as well. I not like Tau at all. I really like Kaspa from crypto. That's fair enough. Although in saying that, I will still be talking about Zebek and Tau in this stream today. You haven't got to like them, but I think Tau has got a lot going for it right now. You're going to see a big rally from it very, very soon. So with that being said, we'll get some Tau news and then we'll get into these Zebek updates and then we'll come back full circle. So to start off with, if you're unaware, I made a video on my channel 5 or so hours ago now, 6 hours ago, talking about a potential breakout next week. And the reason for that is because of the incoming developments this week regarding the Fed, Trump, and the earnings reports, but also because next week, Tau announced in their Discord server, they have a major upgrade coming through, where Shamil's root claim PR to mainnet, which fundamentally changes how root dividends works, which will give you ultimately a lot more control over how rewards are realized in BitTensor. So if you want to find out the exact nitty-gritty into exactly what the update is and a bit more understanding of how it works, in a sense of, understanding more so the technicality aspect of it, then check out the video I posted on my channel, which I posted again not that long ago here. Find out more there. But in a kind of summary of what they said here, users get to choose between alpha growth, keep, and stability on Tau on root swap. Claims are staggered over blocks, so less bursty sell pressure and smoother accounting. As more and more people choose to claim in alpha rather than Tau, alpha price will increase due to the reduction in root sell pressure. So basically, they made an upgrade where beforehand, before this new default, the idea is that you basically you're staking your Tau in, you're staking your Tau, and you were awarded alpha tokens. Now, the alpha tokens is just basically the token, alpha to the name given, but it's the token on the subnet that you're staking it on. And when you did that, it was automatically converted and swapped, and claimed and swapped into Tau. So it basically meant that no matter what, you're staking your Tau, fine, but you're always going to get Tau, which is kind of what you want. But it basically means that these subnets would never really grow because their tokens are just not getting, no one's stacking their tokens, because every time you're staking it, it's just constant. And it also resulted in constant sell pressure on BitTensor as well. That also could explain why, this update I think came out in like February-ish time. And you can see what happened, February here, massive drop here. Obviously that was also off the back of Trump and the tariff announcements happening then as well. But there's been a lot of sell pressure on Tau for quite some time, following Kaspa in that regard as well, I guess. But with this update, it actually, and they proposed this again, you can see it on the website, and the website they post here, they proposed root staking options. They proposed it's going to happen now, and it has happening now. But this update basically means that, as I posted about, this upgrade aimed to reduce sell pressure on the Tau tokens while also providing better security, increased utility for the Tau token, as well as better decentralization, which I think is, again, really, really big news. Also would be a better fit for institutions who are seeking AI infrastructure, be it World Economic Forum, JP Morgan, McKinsey, Bank of England. And I spoke about all of that in the video as well. These institutions who are literally talking about trying to adopt specialized AI-focused cryptos and decentralized high-performance infrastructures, which can offer a very digital, data-driven, and decentralized solution that banks are failing to innovate with and implement into their systems right now. They want to adopt as opposed to trying to build it because they haven't got the time to build it. So Tao, I think, did a very good point. This update basically, again, also allows the subject to grow more so, because it means that instead of it being automatically swapped every single time into Tau, you can now choose to hold it, play the high risk, high reward game, and hold the alpha token, which means you could end up, losing it all, of course. But it means that if you manage to take a correct gamble in the ecosystem that ends up getting more adoption, the value of that alpha token rallies up. You make more capital. You can swap it into Tau and make more money as well. But it also have got a feature where it does automatically it does automatically claim at random every 2 days, as you can see here. Auto claim every block there is a small and unpredictable chance your account is selected for an auto claim, at which time your keep/swap choice will be honored. On average, this should occur once every 2 days, but because of its random, it can happen more often or less than often. It's a big deal because it actually protects you from MEV attacks. Because if beforehand, everyone basically just stacked, and then just did one big claim at once. So therefore, if you could predict, the bot could predict the claim coming through and then attack you. But now with also random and unpredictable, MEV attacks are going to be harder to do as well. So I think it's a very significant upgrade that gives more security and decentralization to Tau, while also reducing sell pressure on the token as well, which is something that I think is very slept upon, and also why I think Tau is starting to see a bit of a rally now. It's probably a bit of a FOMO candle we're seeing, as anything. For me, Tau need to try and break above $500 to maybe have a chance of breaking out, being this previous peak here and equally here now. Need to break above this. But if it can, then I think, Tau's next stop will be probably around, give or take this wick here. Most likely around this 585, 600 zone here, but the next zone looking strong for Tau there. But I think Tau again's got some big updates coming through. And based on the institutional sentiment we're seeing, their continual demand and growth for AI, I think also is going to do very, very well. Some people believe Tau's going to come back down to 200. Anything's possible. If the market comes back down, it will do, but we haven't got any guarantee of it. That's the point. I have got some Tau, of course. I've been holding it for quite some time, and I think this update will likely cause a push and potential breakout coming through. So, I'm ultimately optimistic about this right now. And again, the documentation that I've showcased to my VIPs, and we have hundreds of documents in there. This is just one of them. We put in a lot more detail in there. We spoke about AI. We have other ones here that also spoke in respects to infrastructure and AI as well, from the Bank of England. We got this one here, which is talking a bit. This one here from KPMG talks about how digital assets and AI are the fastest growing investments of 2025. They're the only fintech investing that's happening right now in this space, just because of all the headwinds from tariffs and uncertainty and whatnot. But yeah, Bank of England also talking about AI here as well. Again, this stuff I've posted on my Twitter, but that's just the ones I decided I wanted to post publicly, so you can have a bit of an inkling to the alpha source we talk about in there. But I've posted hundreds more in there that aren't public, that talking a lot more detail about this as well. Like JP Morgan saying, how can we use AI to print more revenue without selling it? So let's talk about yield farming as well. If you want to find out more information, more of a documentation, again, level up your understand. This is what they're telling their clients. They're not telling us this. This is why what they're saying is credible to me, because it's one thing they're telling this to mainstream media. They're probably lying, but they're telling it to their clients. For me, they're more like telling the truth, because they're trying to help their friends out. And I'm going to add to the documents because I guess I have connections or I know how to work around it. But if you want to find that sort of stuff out, again, alpha documentation, educational sources, and much more, the VIP is available. You can offer them a free trial, and all links are down below in the description. But that's why I think Tau is doing very well right now, and why it might continue to rally from here. Again, if you break $500, that could be the sign of a breakout for Tau. Will it surpass all-time highs this cycle? I think it will do. How long till then? Don't know. Who knows, right? But I think Tau's still got much more legs in it, to say the least. And then also we do have some updates regarding cashback real quick, which is about their new super app launching this quarter in collaboration with Uphold sponsoring the NHL and the NBA. ISO compliance as well, also coming very, very soon, which is, huge. We should know about that, why it's big news. Additional partners to be announced soon enough as well, so it's going to be a big thing. And again, if they get listings as well, same thing for Kaspa, also very bullish for Zebek if that happens. So Zebek seems to be in a strong spot right now, currently up about 3.39%, which actually was up a lot earlier today, Zebek, I believe, before the market quick reversal. Is still struggling in this zone down here, which we saw again. It played out, as I said the other day, where the BEC broke above this resistance level, then found resistance here at this wedge and came back down again. So it needs to try and break into that to have a significant rally and move up. And then Tower again was up a lot more earlier, I think about 11% earlier, almost 11% before now only being up about 3.69% as well. HBAR understandably is up a lot because of the ETF filing going live. It went up about 18%. As you look at Solana, you'll probably see a similar story of Solana as well. Actually, Solana, no, funnily enough. Solana did not go up. Interesting. What about Litecoin then? I imagine Litecoin probably did. Equally no in Litecoin. Okay, so just a deal at HBAR. That is quite interesting, actually. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. It did go up earlier. You can see Litecoin did go up earlier. It went up about 7% before, now being down about 2%. Similarly with Solana, it did go up a bit before, coming back down as well, although not as much. It went up about 3%, but Ibira is doing very well still. Very, very well still, actually. I do think Adira is quite undervalued, in all honesty. It is one broad asset that I do think will do well. I've not one that I hold. Just because I think there are slightly better ones out there that I'm more willing to take a risk on, a gamble on. But I think Adira is one that can do quite well, and the ETF's going to obviously help pump it a bit more so as well. But again, do your own research in that regard. What's wrong with Tau? I think you can. I haven't done a bigger in-depth analysis. I'm going to be doing that with my VIPs this week in regards to giving a much deeper rundown in regards to the benefits and problems with these certain projects like Tau, for example. I don't have any answer on what's wrong with Tau right now. I know that's what it was in response to Dimitar. But I think Tau is a good project personally. I think for me it's one that I'm worth looking into. We don't see the light, look like we are underwater for eternity. I disagree, coach. Disagree. We literally see the light right now, I believe. The light is shining upon us. I think we'll see some significant shining in the coming weeks. Armstrong clears no diff, maybe. I mean, yeah, I didn't want to say that, but who knows? Maybe he does. What's up with Wolfie retweeting the HTX and coin market cap post with the green light, etc.? I don't know. I mean, we have heard that KEF are talking to HTX. We've heard that they're also talking to Binance apparently. They're talking to crypto.com. Like, there are multiple exchanges that have some form of connection to Kaspa. The 5 ones being HTX, crypto.com, Binance, OKX, and Coinbase. But until we hear an actual announcement, I don't know. He might just be retweeting it for the sake of retweeting it. I wouldn't look too much into it, honestly, Lieutenant. It'll come when it comes. Do you do daily trade, long shorts in your private group? Yes, effectively. We do post trades in there frequently. Because we are affiliated with BYDFI. If you see in the VIP here, you can see that BYDFI are also that they do post trades in there as well. And you have got our trader here, CF Trade, who's just posted one in right now as well. So we do trades. There are trades daily, either through BYDFI or through our own trader, and our own trader does trades pretty much daily as well. So you can, we do trades quite frequently in there. You can see again the gains that we ended up making this week and the losses as well. And equally what we did last week as well, which was a fantastic week for us, where we had a lot of very, very big wins and no losses at all, actually. Which is, again, of course, most communities won't post their losses because they want to make it look better. But that's also precisely the reason why I did post this loss, because I want people to see that I'm not just trying to sell you fake crap. If you do decide you want to take a 7-day free trial and look in, see if it's worth your while for a week, and even longer, you can see the trades we do conduct in there. And I'll be doing this sort of stuff now, this weekly trade recap, every week from this point forward now. So yeah, if you want to find out more, be it trades, be it alpha documentation, be it the weekly live streams, be it other educational sources like spot buys as well. We put in a spot buy earlier, which my executives now know about. I put it in about 5 hours ago as well. If you want to find out all that stuff out again, the links to join are down below in the description. 7-day free trial, so you haven't got to, you just have a quick peek behind the curtains. If you think it's part of you, think it's something you want to take a look into more so, then you can, again, just sign up. Or if you aren't completely sure if 1 week's enough for you to have a proper understanding if it's worth your money or not, you can then sign up through BYDFI, which if you go into our free Discord server and you look at the Get VIP Access channel here, you can see the steps you need to take to end up basically having access to the BYDFI trade signals at the very least. And then if you do that as well, message me on Discord and I'll give you a 1 month free trial to the executive chat here. So you can, the whole executive community can find out a lot more on here as well. And you can also see the other benefits BYDFI offer you as well. Right now, there aren't any campaigns going on, but you get all the information. If you want to get an extra month as well for free, then you can do that as well. So there are ways for you to just have a little peek behind the curtains to see if it's worth your while. And then if you like what you see, then you can sign up. And, we're going to be continuing to posting more and more content in there. The next step's going to probably be regarding some AI picks, because AI seems to be a very, very big niche, among some other picks here and there, random ones here and there as well. And then we'll also be talking a lot in the near future about the steps to take going into the bear cycle in the case that it does end up coming through quickly, which is going to be basically learning how to make passive yields, passive gains, which is something that is massively slept upon in this community, in crypto in general. Hideo was great if you had gotten at 0.04 cents and sold at, sold at 35 cents. Yeah, again, it's all a matter of timing, right? Same thing for Kaspa. If you've got in Kaspa at 0.001, then you're comfy right now. If you've got at 20 cents, you're kind of upset, as many of us are probably in a similar boat. Or maybe not now because you've already sold your Kaspa. But yeah, everything has their ideal times to buy and sell. I still think these most assets do make a big rally going forward when the market makes that confirmed signal to reverse. Bitcoin needs to break up of 116k for me. Right now, it's not doing that. So, but I don't know if 100k is happening. Doo-doo. I don't know when I said doo-doo, but I probably did. And yeah, I'm surrounded by children. We've said many times that they will list when it suits them, as in some bullish phase, but that might never come. That seems like a negative cause and effect loop rubbish. Yeah, he has said that. Ultimately, Wolfie doesn't know when Binance will list Kaspa. Nobody knows. Binance don't communicate that. Only they know when they're ready to list. So Wolfie doesn't know. So his assumption is that because Binance have been talking to Kaspa for almost 2 years now, they've got a mining pool, they've got a futures contract, they've been talking to them about tech questions as well, and they've leaked a lot of stuff that's evidently about Kaspa. They evidently like Kaspa or have enough conviction enough to still linger about. They're just not ready yet. So the only conclusion he can drive from that is that maybe when there's a bullish phase in the market, they'll then use that as a catalyst to send Kaspa even higher as well. But ultimately, he doesn't know. He's making a prediction, a speculation, a comment like any of us right now. No one actually knows when Binance will list, when Coinbase will list, when OKX will list, when any of the exchanges will list Kaspa. It's not like we pay them for listings where they can just do it whenever they want to. They've got to do it when they're ready, when they think it's ready, because they have to accumulate the money themselves. So it's a different predicament. I still think they will list Kaspa. I just don't know when either, unfortunately. The power about this is at an early stage, you become a connected group and, like you say, almost no losses. That's perfect for passive income while fighting the bull. Yeah, it's also very true. You can argue that Kaspa is in that kind of sense, little to no losses. So it's kind of like passive income while fighting the bull cycle. True. Although in regards to what I was saying, was about actually utilizing elements in staking, yield farms, which there are many ecosystems out there that already offer that with certain yield percentages and APIs. But They're also actually available on Kaspa through Zealous, which I will be looking into as well, although that does require connecting to Casplex. So I will probably just give it a test, see how it goes, but I would prefer to personally wait for IGRA right now, if I'm being honest, just personally. But yeah, I mean, I think yield farms are absolutely massive thing where you can just, have your capital put into a so-called safe place, and it just makes you gains every day without you doing anything to it. Yeah, I think that's quite a big thing as well. Stop calling 0 a naught. No. Yo, Greg, you're doing very well. Joining late, creative day at work. Hey, I mean, hopefully you're having a better day right now. I've been having a creative day myself today. I think tomorrow's going to be even crazier because of all the extra stuff I plan to put into my VIP community. I want to put a lot of information in there right now. So it's going to be a busy day for me as well, I'm sure. And I'm, trying to prepare as well for me doing Facecam on Thursday. So make sure everything's properly ready. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, brother. Although we are at the tail end of the stream today. Need capital to pump so I can marry my landlady. Soon enough, Lieutenant, I'm sure. Soon enough. By the way, my opinion, if Binance does list, they will all 100% follow. Yeah, I do agree as well. If Binance launches Kaspa spot trading pair, the FOMO that will cause, it would be a logical assumption to make that you don't want to end up paying extra or a premium to list Kaspa. So the rest of the exchanges would follow in Binance's footsteps and launch as well. Maybe not Coinbase. Coinbase always are late, but the rest of them probably would. It's not a bad assumption. But that being said, family, that does conclude today's crypto live stream. We've seen, again, vote for Son Polinsky and Michael Sutton right now. They are still winning the race right now. Hopefully they can win the whole event and give more eyes to Kaspa. We're seeing adoption and eyes wandering come to Kaspa more and more, which is really good. Huge tower update. Go watch the video if you haven't done so already. So Beck also seems to be cooking some stuff right now. This update I didn't even get into, but I'll talk about it in a video probably on Thursday. And we're seeing a lot of very big fundamental developments as well. So things are cooking right now. Check out the VIP, participate in the trading and the alpha documentation, everything else you can learn in there. Links down below in the description. Welcome, Beebs, although you're at the end of the stream. I hope you're doing very well, though. She is greedy and always wants me to pay more money, but I keep promising her Kaspa will pump. She says she will kick me out in 1 year because Kaspa doesn't hit $3. Well, hopefully you can prove her wrong and marry her instead. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night, and I will see you all